Good day, everyone. I'm Jeanny from the Philippines. I'm a public school teacher and a graduate of Philippine Christian University. Here are some images of PCU. The title of my research is Parental Involvement and Learners' Academic Performance Toward an Action Plan. For the background and objectives of the study, Victoriano Luciano Elementary School is a medium-sized school with a total of 16 teachers and 807 learners enrolled for school year 2023-2024. The researcher has observed and identified that parental involvement in monitoring the academic performance of learners in school is minimal based on the initial data driven from the parent-teachers conference's attendance sheet last school year. Hence, the researcher supports the school's goal to boost and ensure the involvement of more parents in their children's education toward an improved academic performance for the school year and onwards. In this regard, the researcher investigated the following: the extent of parental involvement as assessed by the respondents in terms of parenting, communicating, volunteering, learning at home, decision-making, and collaborating with the community. Second, academic performance of grade 6 learners during the first quarter of school year 2023-2024, and the significant relationship between parental involvement and grade 6 learners' academic performance for the first quarter of school year 2023-2024. Lastly, actions to be taken based on the result of the study. For the framework and theoretical underpinnings, this study is supported by Joyce Epstein and her colleagues' parent involvement model. This is one of the most influential models in research on school, family, and community engagement and partnership. This theory introduces 6 types of parental involvement, namely parenting, communicating, volunteering, learning at home, decision-making, and collaborating with the community. Moreover, this theory supports the notion that parental involvement is a crucial factor in children's development and achievement. It emphasizes that each type of involvement is a two-way partnership, and ideally a partnership that is co-developed by educators and families working together. For the methods or methodology, the research design this study utilized the quantitative research design approach, specifically a correlational research design to determine the relationship between the level of parental involvement and academic performance of grade 6 learners in Victoriano Luciano Elementary School during the first quarter of school year 2023-2024. For the population sample and sampling technique, the researcher used the total enumeration sampling method. The researcher examined the parental involvement of 96 parents in the academic performance of their children who are enrolled in grade 6 at Victoriano Luciano Elementary School. In identifying the academic performance of learners, the researcher requested a copy of the class record for the first quarter of school year 2023-2024 from their grade 6 teachers. For research instrument, a self-made questionnaire was crafted to identify the level of parental involvement in grade 6 learners' academic performance. The survey comprised 2 parts. The first part focused on the parents' demographic profile, while the second part focused on the level of parental involvement, which was measured using the 5-point Likert scale. For data gathering procedure, the survey questionnaire went through a validation by the experts, namely the head teacher, the master teacher, and the guidance teacher. Before the administration of the survey questionnaire, the researcher asked for the approval of the school head, and informed consents were also given to respondents. After approval, their questionnaires were distributed, administered, and retrieved after giving the respondents ample time to complete the survey. Afterward, the researcher organized, analyzed, presented, and interpreted the data. For the statistical treatment of data, the researcher used both descriptive and inferential statistics in analyzing and interpreting the collected data. Specifically, the gathered data went through a test of normality using Shapiro-Wilk test, since the number of respondents is only 96, to determine whether the observed data closely fit the shape of a normal curve. That's a deciding factor whether to use parametric or non-parametric test. The result shows that P is equals to 0. Thus, it is significant, which suggests that the data is not normal. Hence, the researcher used non-parametric tests in analyzing and interpreting the data. Specifically, the statistical tools used in the study are the following: average weighted mean, frequency and percentage distribution, and Spearman correlation. For the results and discussion, for SOP1, extent of parental involvement as assessed by the respondents in terms of IPSTEN 6 types of parental involvement, Table 1 shows that there is a strong parental involvement in terms of parenting. This dimension recorded the highest composite mean among the given dimensions. This indicates that parents were able to fulfill their duties in ensuring that their children are well fed, school supplies are provided, and motivated to attend school. This is supported by the study of Lubo 2019, which also revealed that parenting got the highest rating among the given types of parental involvement as assessed by the respondents. This suggests that parents value their jobs most when it comes to helping and taking care of their children. To sum up, the table above display the computed weighted mean and its corresponding verbal interpretation using the 5-point Likert scale. Specifically, the results show the extent of parental involvement in terms of parenting, communicating, volunteering, learning at home, decision-making, and collaborating with the community. Among the types of involvement, parenting, communicating, learning at home, and decision-making got the highest weighted mean, with the descriptive rating highest extent, which means that the involvement of parents in these factors is highly manifested, while volunteering and collaborating with the community both have a descriptive rating high extent, which means that parental is strong but not as strong as the others. The overall mean is 4.17 with a descriptive rating of high extent, which indicates that their involvement is manifested but not too high. This is supported by Kawilan and Salazar 2022 that parents participate more in areas that they can control or manage, such as parenting, than in those that only require their involvement, such as volunteering and collaborating with the community. For SOP2, to analyze the data gathered from the academic performance of the grade 6 learners, the researcher determined the frequency, distribution, and percentage of the grades according to the grading scale of the new K-12 grading system and the Department of Education as shown in Table 3 below. As disclosed in Table 2, only 1% of the total number of learners get an outstanding performance in their academic undertakings, according to the grading scale of the new K-12 grading system of the Department of Education. 42% of them performed very satisfactorily, 46% performed satisfactorily, and the remaining 11% performed fair satisfactorily. Hence, no learners get a failing grade during the first quarter of the school year. The result is consistent with Leander and Fabelia 2020, which also showed that the students' academic performance is moderately satisfactory. On the other hand, according to Aguirre and Legaspi 2020, elementary school students' academic performance is at a highly satisfactory level. Even after the students were divided into groups based on the many variables, each variable's academic performance level was rated as very satisfactory. Academic performance is significantly correlated with age, sex, family, living in situation, and other factors, family income, nutritional status, and birth order, did not significantly correlate with academic performance. For FP3, for the significant relationship between parental involvement and grade 6 learners' academic performance for the first quarter of school year 2023-2024, as shown in this table, only the level of parental involvement in terms of parenting has a p-value of less than 0.05, thus the null hypothesis is rejected. The p-value of 0.049 indicates a moderate positive correlation between the level of parental involvement in terms of parenting and academic performance of grade 6 learners during the first quarter of school year 2023-2024. The result of the Spearman-Rose correlation coefficient test for the other types of parental involvement failed to reject the hypothesis. Thus, the null hypothesis is accepted. This means that the overall mean 0.020 with a p-value of 0.850 signifies that there is no significant relationship between the level of parental involvement and the academic performance of grade 6 learners during the first quarter of the school year 2023-2024. Therefore, the null hypothesis is accepted or maintained. And lastly, for the action plan that can be utilized and adopted in school as a result of the study. So here is the action plan. The name of the project is Mobilizing Volunteerism of Parents. The action plan focuses on volunteering and collaborating with the community. In most studies, parental involvement is concluded to be an essential factor in helping students to succeed in their education based on their findings. However, this is not always the case because in the study, it has been revealed that the level of parental involvement has no significant relationship with learners' academic performance. In other involvement has no direct relationship with learners' academic performance, it means that other factors could therefore the findings of this study contradict the notion of the existing theoretical framework that the extent of parental involvement has a significant relationship to children's academic achievement. This study disclosed that a high extent of parental involvement does not guarantee an outstanding academic performance of learners. But of course, the involvement of parents is still necessary. Hence, they should still work together with the educators and their children's school community. For the impact and outcome of the study for SOP1, among the types of parental involvement, parenting, communicating, learning at home, and decision making got the highest weighted mean with the descriptive rating highest extent, which means that the involvement of parents in these factors is highly manifested, while volunteering and collaborating with the community both have descriptive rating high extent, which means that the parental is strong but not as strong as the others. The overall mean is 4.17 with a descriptive rating of high extent, which indicates that their involvement is manifested but not too high. For SOP2, on the other hand, with regards to academic performance of grade 6 learners during the first quarter of school year 2023-24, all of them got a passing grade of 75 and above, but only 1% got an outstanding performance based on to the grading scale description of the new K-12 grading system of DepEd. For SOP3, the findings indicated that only the level of parental involvement in terms of parenting has a significant relationship with the academic performance of grade 6 learners, while the rest of the indicators have no significant relationship between the level of parental involvement and learners' academic performance. For SOP4, based on the result of this study, the researcher developed an action plan that focuses on improving the extent of parental involvement in terms of volunteering and collaborating with the community. And for the conclusions, based on the findings of the study, for SOP1, parental involvement in terms of volunteering and collaborating needs to be improved and initiated since it only got a descriptive rating. This suggests that parents should actively engage in a greater number of school-related activities. Overall, the findings signify that parents of grade 6 learners manifested a strong involvement in the learning of SOP2. Based on the findings, no one got a failing grade. However, it can still be concluded that the strong manifestation of parental involvement that came out in this study does not guarantee an outstanding performance of their children since only one got an outstanding performance. For SOP3, in most studies, parental involvement is concluded to be an essential factor in helping students succeed in their studies based on their findings. However, this is not always the case because in this study, it has been revealed that the level of parental involvement has no significant relationship with learners' academic performance. In other words, learners' academic achievement is not always correlated with how involved their parents are in their education. The level of effort they give in completing their academic endeavors and their ability to adapt to the changing demands of their learning environment could be some of the factors. The students are currently in their transitional year to secondary education, which is a time in their lives when they grow and make decisions on their own, especially their academic activities, regardless of whether their parents are highly involved or not. Therefore, the findings of this study contradict the notion of the existing theoretical framework that the extent of parental involvement has a significant relationship to children's academic achievement. This study revealed that a high extent of parental involvement does not guarantee an outstanding academic performance of learners. Lastly, since among the findings of the type of involvement in terms of volunteering and collaborating with a community gained the least weighted mean among the 6 types of involvement used in the study, the researcher created an action plan that aims to encourage and mobilize parents to take part in the school's programs, projects, and activities as they are the major stakeholder in the school community. And for the recommendations, here is the list of the recommendations. Since the scope of the study is limited to the perception of grade 6 learners' parents and their children's academic performance for the first quarter only, it would be better for future studies to conduct a qualitative study or a cross-sectional survey that include teachers and learners' perceptions as well, or a larger number of respondents that include other grade levels. Since parenting out of the 6 forms of parental involvement significantly correlates with students' academic performance and the other types do not, The school must develop an action plan about programs, projects, and activities that will encourage parents to improve their involvement, especially in terms of volunteering and collaborating with the school community. Lastly, another study could be conducted that focuses on potential learners and learners at risk to find out the extent of parental involvement with a group of learners and its relationship to their academic performance. And for my references, it is flashed on your screen. And that's the end of my presentation. It's my pleasure to be part of this international research conference organized by IOER. Thank you so much and mabuhay.